Imagine this: every sip you take throughout the day could be quietly increasing your blood pressure. No symptoms, no immediate signs, just a slow, steady rise that could lead to heart disease, stroke, or kidney failure. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, nearly half of adults in the United States, about 116 million people, have high blood pressure. Yet, many continue consuming everyday drinks that silently worsen the condition. It's easy to focus on salt, stress, or sedentary habits as the main villains. But what most people don't realize is how powerful your drink choices can be. You may think you're making safe decisions, maybe grabbing a sports drink, sipping an iced tea, or pouring a glass of juice. But some of these seemingly harmless beverages can do serious damage if you're not careful. And here's the part that might surprise you the most. The Mayo Clinic, one of the most respected medical institutions in the world, has identified a handful of common drinks that can dangerously raise your blood pressure or interfere with your medication. These are beverages many people consume every day, often without a second thought. If you or someone you love is managing high blood pressure or trying to prevent it, it's crucial to look beyond what's on your plate and start paying closer attention to what's in your glass. In this video, we're going to walk through the 5 worst drinks for high blood pressure patients, according to research and recommendations from the Mayo Clinic. We'll explain how each of these beverages affects your cardiovascular system, what makes them risky, and how they might even block the effectiveness of your medications. We'll also share simple, healthier alternatives that can help you stay hydrated while supporting your blood pressure goals. But first, let's get one thing straight. There's no magic potion that will lower your blood pressure overnight. Managing hypertension takes time, commitment, and consistency. But every small change counts, and removing the wrong drinks from your routine can have a big impact over time. So, whether you're already diagnosed with high blood pressure, taking medication, or simply want to protect your heart and brain as you age, stay with us. This information could change how you hydrate for the better. Let's start with a beverage that many people turn to for a quick boost of energy, but might actually be doing much more harm than good. Energy drinks, the hidden danger. It's a familiar scene: you're feeling tired in the afternoon, maybe trying to push through a long workday or a tough workout. You grab an energy drink after all. It promises a burst of energy, sharper focus, and improved performance. But behind that shiny can and bold marketing lies a serious risk for anyone with high blood pressure. Energy drinks are among the worst offenders when it comes to cardiovascular health. What makes them so dangerous? First, they're loaded with caffeine, sometimes as much as 3 or 4 cups of coffee in a single can. Add in other stimulants like taurine, guarana, and ginseng, and you've got a recipe for rapid heart rate, constricted blood vessels, and elevated blood pressure. The Mayo Clinic warns that even in healthy individuals, these stimulants can cause short-term spikes in blood pressure. But for those who already have hypertension, the effects can be far more serious. Just one energy drink can push your blood pressure dangerously high within 30 minutes of consumption, and the impact can last for hours. But here's what most people miss. It's not just the caffeine. Many energy drinks are also packed with sugar, up to 50 grams or more in a single serving. That's more than the American Heart Association's recommended daily limit for added sugar. High sugar intake leads to weight gain, insulin resistance, and inflammation, all of which contribute to higher blood pressure. And if you think sugar-free energy drinks are safer, think again. Artificial sweeteners may not raise blood sugar, but they can still increase adrenaline levels and overstimulate your nervous system, especially when paired with caffeine. The result: a dangerous cocktail that stresses your heart and blood vessels every time you drink it. One 2020 study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association found that just one 16-ounce energy drink increased blood pressure and prolonged the QT interval, a measure of heart rhythm in young, healthy adults. For someone with existing cardiovascular risks, those effects could lead to arrhythmias or even a heart attack. Now, consider the long-term effects. Regular consumption of energy drinks has been linked to higher risks of hypertension, anxiety, poor sleep, and even substance dependency. That quick boost comes at a steep price. So what can you do instead? If you need an energy lift, consider a glass of cold water with lemon tea, green tea in moderation, or a brisk walk to naturally wake up your system. And always read labels. Some sports or performance drinks hide their caffeine and stimulant content behind vague ingredient lists. If you've been relying on energy drinks to get through the day, it might be time to pause and ask, is this drink helping you, or silently hurting your health? For high blood pressure patients, the answer is clear. Energy drinks are a risk not worth taking. Alcohol, more than just empty calories. A glass of wine at dinner, a beer during the game, or a cocktail at a celebration. Alcohol is deeply woven into social life. And in moderation. Some types of alcohol might even seem harmless. But for people with high blood pressure, the relationship between alcohol and heart health is far more complicated and risky than most realize. The Mayo Clinic is clear: drinking too much alcohol can raise your blood pressure to unhealthy levels. In fact, even moderate alcohol intake can begin to disrupt the delicate balance your body needs to maintain healthy circulation. Over time, alcohol doesn't just strain your heart, it can make high blood pressure harder to control and more dangerous. What many people don't understand is how quickly that damage can begin. According to research, drinking more than 3 drinks in one sitting can cause a temporary spike in blood pressure. But if those episodes happen frequently, your body begins to adapt, and not in a good way. The blood pressure remains elevated, and your risk of heart attack and stroke increases. And there's more. Alcohol contributes to weight gain because it's packed with empty calories, 7 calories per gram, nearly as much as pure fat. It can also increase your appetite and lower your self-control, leading to poor food choices. Together, these effects create a perfect storm for worsening blood pressure over time. But here's a point. Many people miss alcohol can interfere with blood pressure medications. Some medications become less effective when combined with alcohol, while others may cause dangerous side effects like dizziness, irregular heartbeat, or even fainting when mixed with a drink. That casual glass of wine could be quietly canceling out your treatment. The Mayo Clinic defines moderate drinking as up to 1 drink per day for women and up to 2 for men. But even at these levels, those with high blood pressure are urged to be cautious. The safest option for managing hypertension is often to avoid alcohol altogether, or, at the very least, to significantly reduce your intake. It's also worth noting that not all alcohol is created equal. While red wine has often been marketed for its heart-healthy benefits due to compounds like resveratrol, the science is mixed. Any potential benefits are easily outweighed by the risks when alcohol is consumed regularly or in larger amounts. If alcohol is part of your routine, now might be the time to rethink your habits. Can you swap that nightly drink for a calming herbal tea? Replace celebratory champagne with a sparkling water and fresh fruit twist. Small changes in what you sip can have a big impact on your long-term heart health. For people managing high blood pressure, alcohol isn't just a beverage, it's a decision that affects your body's most vital systems. And often, the best choice is the one that helps your heart stay strong and steady. Sugary beverages. Sweetness with a price. Let's talk about something many of us grew up loving: sweet drinks. Whether it's a can of soda with lunch, a flavored iced tea in the afternoon, or a fruit punch on a hot day. These sugary beverages are comforting, convenient, and often marketed as refreshing. But for people with high blood pressure, they can be quietly destructive. The Mayo Clinic and other leading health organizations have repeatedly warned about the dangers of excessive sugar, especially when consumed in liquid form. Why? Because when sugar comes in a drink rather than in food, it hits your bloodstream much faster. That rapid spike in blood sugar sets off a chain reaction that increases insulin levels, contributes to weight gain, and drives up blood pressure. Here's what most people miss. Sugary drinks don't just add calories, they change your metabolism. Research has shown that people who consume one or more sugar-sweetened beverages per day are significantly more likely to develop high blood pressure, even if they're otherwise healthy. And we're not just talking about traditional sodas. Sweetened iced teas, fruit drinks, lemonade, coffee shop beverages, and even vitamin waters often contain more sugar than a slice of cake. A single 20-ounce bottle of soda can contain 65 grams of added sugar. That's more than 16 teaspoons. Excess sugar contributes to a condition called insulin resistance, which makes it harder for your body to process carbohydrates. Over time, this leads to weight gain, higher levels of triglycerides, and damage to the blood vessels, all of which can elevate blood pressure. It's a cycle that feeds on itself. The more sugar you consume, the more your blood pressure rises, and the harder your heart has to work. One surprising link is between sugary drinks and a condition known as metabolic syndrome, a cluster of symptoms including high blood pressure, high blood sugar, excess belly fat, and abnormal cholesterol levels. Metabolic syndrome significantly increases the risk of heart attack and stroke, and sugary drinks are a known contributor. Even fruit juice, which many consider healthy, can be problematic. While natural, fruit juice is highly concentrated in sugars and lacks the fiber found in whole fruit. Drinking orange juice or apple juice regularly can lead to the same blood sugar spikes and blood pressure concerns as soda, especially in large quantities. So what's the alternative? Choose water flavored with lemon, cucumber, or mint. Unsweetened iced tea, diluted fruit juices, or herbal infusions are also great options. You don't have to give up flavor, you just have to be smarter about where it comes from. Your blood pressure reflects the choices you make every day, and sugary beverages are one of the easiest changes you can make. Swapping out just one soda or sweetened drink per day could lower your risk of hypertension and bring you closer to a healthier heart. In the battle against high blood pressure, cutting the sugar from your glass is a powerful first step. Caffeinated beverages, proceed with caution. For many people, the day doesn't truly begin until that first cup of coffee hits the lips. Caffeine has become a staple of daily life, found in coffee, black tea, green tea, soft drinks, and even some over-the-counter medications. But while caffeine has its benefits, for those managing high blood pressure, it's a substance that demands caution and awareness. Caffeine is a stimulant. It works by blocking a brain chemical called adenosine, which makes you feel tired. In doing so, it increases activity in your brain and nervous system and causes the adrenal glands to release more adrenaline. This surge can lead to a temporary increase in blood pressure, even in people who don't normally struggle with hypertension. The Mayo Clinic explains that the exact effect of caffeine on blood pressure varies from person to person. Some people are more sensitive and may notice a sharp spike in blood pressure after just 1 cup of coffee, while others may experience little to no effect. But for those already diagnosed with high blood pressure, the risk is more pronounced. In fact, studies have shown that consuming 200 to 300 milligrams of caffeine, the amount found in 2 to 3 cups of coffee, can raise systolic blood pressure by 8 to 10 points. That might not seem like much, but for someone already near the high end of the spectrum, it's enough to push them into dangerous territory. And here's something many people don't consider. Caffeine isn't just in coffee. It's hidden in sodas, energy drinks, chocolate, certain teas, and even pain relievers. That means your daily intake could be much higher than you think, especially if you're reaching for multiple sources throughout the day. Another factor to consider is how caffeine interacts with stress. If you're already feeling anxious or under pressure, caffeine can amplify your body's stress response, raising heart rate, tightening blood vessels, and causing further spikes in blood pressure. It's like pouring fuel on an already flickering flame. But does this mean you have to give up your morning cup of coffee? Not necessarily. The key is moderation and self-awareness. The Mayo Clinic suggests that people with high blood pressure monitor their response to caffeine. Try checking your blood pressure before and after your drink. If you notice a jump of more than 5 to 10 points, you might want to cut back. You might also consider switching to lower caffeine options like green tea or herbal teas, which provide a gentler lift without the intense stimulation. Decaffeinated coffee is another good alternative, offering the familiar flavor without the cardiovascular impact. Ultimately, the goal isn't to eliminate every comfort from your life. It's to make thoughtful choices that protect your health in the long run. For people managing high blood pressure, caffeine should be treated like a loaded question. It's not always harmful, but it requires careful attention. Because in the fight to keep your heart and brain healthy, every sip truly matters. Grapefruit juice. A surprising interaction. It's tart, refreshing, and often seen as a healthy breakfast choice. Grapefruit juice is rich in vitamin C and antioxidants, so it might seem like the perfect way to start your day. But for those with high blood pressure, especially those on medication, it can be one of the most dangerous drinks on the table. Here's why grapefruit juice doesn't just nourish your body, it can interfere with it. Specifically, it affects how your liver processes certain medications. The Mayo Clinic warns that grapefruit and its juice contain compounds that block an enzyme called CYP3A4, which plays a key role in breaking down many drugs, including those used to treat high blood pressure. When this enzyme is inhibited, medications can accumulate in your bloodstream to unsafe levels. That means a dose your doctor carefully prescribed could suddenly become too strong, increasing the risk of side effects such as dizziness, muscle weakness, heart rhythm problems, or dangerously low blood pressure. This isn't a rare issue. It's well documented and serious. Grapefruit juice has been shown to interact with over 85 medications, and among those are several common blood pressure drugs, including certain calcium channel blockers like felodipine, nifedipine, and verapamil. These medications are designed to relax the blood vessels and reduce the heart's workload. But when intensified by grapefruit juice, they can lower blood pressure too much or trigger other complications. And the effects can be long-lasting. Even a single glass of grapefruit juice can affect the metabolism of certain medications for up to 72 hours. So it's not just about what you drink today, it's about how that drink might silently alter the effectiveness of your medications for days to come. What makes this especially tricky is that most people aren't aware of the interaction. Grapefruit juice isn't typically listed as a warning on medication bottles, and many healthcare providers forget to mention it unless specifically asked. As a result, people trying to make healthier choices like adding more juice to their diet may actually be putting themselves at greater risk. So what can you do instead? If you love citrus flavors, consider switching to orange or apple juice, which don't carry the same risks. Even better, go for whole fruit instead of juice when possible, which gives you fiber along with nutrients and slows down sugar absorption. And if you're unsure whether your medication interacts with grapefruit juice, don't guess, ask your doctor or pharmacist. It's a small question that could prevent a major health issue. In the end, it's not about fearing grapefruit juice, it's about being informed. For people with high blood pressure, especially those on long-term medication, it's one more example of how what you drink can dramatically shape your health. Knowing what's in your glass is just as important as knowing what's on your plate. We often think of high blood pressure as something controlled only by pills and checkups. But the truth is, it's shaped just as much by the decisions we make every day, especially what we choose to drink. Let's take a quick step back and remember what we've learned. First, energy drinks loaded with stimulants and sugar. They cause your heart to race and your pressure to rise. Then alcohol, more than just empty calories. It interferes with medications, raises blood pressure, and adds strain to your heart. Sugary beverages. They do more than satisfy a sweet tooth, they drive weight gain, insulin resistance, and inflammation. Caffeinated drinks, though common, can sneakily raise your blood pressure, especially in sensitive individuals. And finally, grapefruit juice. A surprising health risk when combined with certain blood pressure medications, potentially turning a routine sip into a serious complication. Each of these drinks may seem harmless in isolation, but over weeks, months, and years, they build up, nudging your pressure higher, complicating your medications, and increasing your risk of heart disease, stroke, kidney problems, and cognitive decline. But here's the good news. You have power. You have the ability to choose what supports your health rather than harms it. Cutting out harmful drinks doesn't mean living without joy or flavor. It means making room for better options: pure water, herbal teas, sparkling waters with a splash of citrus, or natural, unsweetened alternatives that nourish your body without compromising your heart. If you've been struggling to manage your blood pressure, this might be the missing link. Changing your beverage habits can be one of the simplest, yet most powerful adjustments you can make. No need to overhaul your entire lifestyle overnight. Start with one switch. Replace one drink a day with something healthier. Over time, those small changes add up. And don't do it alone. Talk to your doctor or a registered dietitian about your drink choices, especially if you're on medications. They can help you understand the risks, personalize your plan, and stay on track. Lastly, if you found this information valuable, share it with someone you love. High blood pressure is called the silent killer for a reason. Most people don't even know they have it until it causes damage. But together, with better knowledge and better choices, we can change that. So the next time you reach for a drink, ask yourself, is this helping my heart or hurting it? Because every sip matters. and your health is worth every thoughtful choice.